What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. What is this little note from TradingView? Just waiting 1 second while we start up YouTube because for some reason the comments weren't showing. So I gotta just, figure. I gotta call up Google and figure out what's going on with them. I don't know. I don't know. But we got Albert in the house. Good morning to you. We got Bill, Cindy, Corey. Good morning to Greg. We got Jay, Joe, Lauren, Marius. Good morning, Mike, Shane, Tim. We got Tim Thurman in the house. Timmy T. Good morning to all you guys as well. We got Johnny Guarks in the house. We'll get to that one in a second. But all you guys appreciate you joining us each and every day. All my people out in YouTube land, I apologize for kind of deleting the, the live stream and then restarting it. So hopefully you guys are able to find the updated link. But yeah, the comments weren't working, and that makes me sad. So I just don't want to start my day off sad. That's it. Kind of like a couple bulls out there in the market. A couple bulls that bought right at the end of the day yesterday. Little bit of a gap down. Really good close yesterday, though. So fantastic close. Again, not a great open. We're right back to where we were yesterday. Essentially, we're not yesterday. Friday. We're right at the close of Friday. We got a little bit of work to do to get through some of those resistance. So I got 534.53 all the way up to 534.86. And then support back to this 533.62. So a little bit of a chopville, which kind of makes sense. Not a lot of news today, but somebody in the chat throw in something that's happening tomorrow. What's happening tomorrow? Something kind of big. Let me know. There we go. Cindy got it. We got CPI. That's half the equation. That's half the equation. Yep. So before the bell tomorrow, we do have CPI coming out. That should move the market, and then we have Jerome Powell going to be, I believe Jerome Powell speaking. Yeah, we got FOMC decision. We got the rate decision, which I think probably remains flat as expected. And then we got to see what the rest of the conversation looks like after that. But big day tomorrow, so I do expect probably a little bit of going for some chop today, getting back into this little region. But again, the good news about yesterday, and we'll see. Obviously, if the market takes all the news bad tomorrow, that's going to be a lot heavier of a resistance. But for today, yeah, this is a spot we were able to break through yesterday. We were just not, and we were able to hold it. We just kind of gapped underneath it again. So we'll see. But I do think we lean a little bit to the chop side. We got the Qs gapping down as well, right into a little support. So we'll see if that first level where we're opening right now, or where we're sitting at right now, opens or stays above 463.18. And then the next spot to the support side of things, I got 462.34. If we start to break down there, again today, I don't know how wild it could be. Maybe there's going to be some people taking some gains, some profits ahead of kind of a market moving event. Otherwise, look for like the lows of yesterday or opening prices yesterday. 461.71. Lucian's in the house. Good morning, Lucian. But we'll see. A little bit of a gap down again, looking a little bit more to the chop side than anything else. NTLT. TLT inside day. Again, gaps frequently. Not today, doesn't. Inside day, look for support around 90.90. That should be a big one. Even on the way up, we were saying 90, 91-ish. It's going to be a tough level. So we're still sitting above it. So we still got some hopium for the bulls. But yeah, wouldn't put it past me that there's a little chop. Jay is saying GM. Is that for the company or is that for a good morning? It gets confusing. It gets confusing. Got Richard Jet, YouTube, Lance, Scintilla. Al, good morning to you as well. Appreciate you guys for researching for the link because I shut down the live stream. Joe says I'm seeing some huge upper wicks. Yeah, you know what I decided? This analyzing the stock market is too difficult. It's just too difficult. I can't do it by myself. We got to bring in my boy Johnny Guarks. Let's double team it, Johnny. Let me know if you could hop on the mic there, buddy.
Sorry, it's still a little early here. So, yeah, man, I found the mute button. And how is everybody doing? Excited to be here. What's going on, DJ?
Doing good, man. Yeah, no, I hit all the buttons and everything like that too. So, the mute might as well be a half the time I'm talking to people like for 15 minutes. They're like, "Yeah, did you walk away? Because we can't hear nothing." I'm like, "Oh, the mute button." But
Sounds
yeah,
familiar. Sounds
all
familiar.
good, man. I appreciate you being up bright and early. So, I think we should do this. We got a lot to. Uh, let's cover a couple tickers together. You down for
All
that?
right, let's go look at some stuff. Good
All
morning,
right.
Jay. Good morning, Lucen. How you guys doing? Miss you guys.
We
Lucen
got
says middle of the night. I don't know if it's, yeah, middle of the night,
yeah,
middle of the
nice.
morning, something like that. 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't know how you're awake, to be honest. I don't know how you do it, Johnny. That's
It's
that
for the
that's that
team, man. I love being with the team.
that's that US services background you got. We got
Nah, man, I love this family. That's what it is.
all right. We got
Still
GM
General Motors, DJ?
General Motors, nice little gap up. What are you thinking on this one, Johnny?
I really haven't looked at it. Let me give me a few seconds to take a look at it. I mean, it looks like a delicious gap, right?
Yeah, my biggest concern it is gapping up. I'll see if there's any news on it, but it's had quite a few days of running. There we go. Little buyback, $6 billion
Buyback.
buyback. So
Yeah.
longevity wise, that's usually pretty decent for anybody not familiar with the buybacks and how that works. It just if there's 100 shares out there of a company, which usually there's a lot more, but just for an example purpose, if there's 100 shares out there, and you own one share, you own one, or you let's say you own 10 shares, you own 1/10 of the company. If they buy back 50 shares, you still have the same amount of shares, but you get more ownership. So the company value will increase with that. But it is a good little gap. It's also a retest after a whole heck of a lot of bullish days in a row, and then we also have the market kind of gapping down a little bit. So for me, I'd be a little cautious at open. But what about you, Johnny?
Yeah, I agree. It's obviously after a big week last week and yesterday, it's I think people are going to be taking some profits up here, don't you think?
Yeah, I think you got a good long term little resistance up here from back in September 2021 as well. We hit that a few times, so seems to me
48
we
area.
are
That's
gapping into a
tough.
little bit of resistance. I wouldn't necessarily look for the fade on this one. I just don't know if the risk to reward is that good. I think
Yeah,
buying the dip would be the play, but it would have to dip for me first.
yeah.
So
Pretty far
we're
from that daily 10.
yeah, but we're extended on those moving averages. We got that gap, that retest. We'll see. We got another one. Let's take a look at shop. Shop just came in from Joe.
Shop.
Shopify. Um, the companies do just go straight up and straight down now. That's what I've noticed. just
What
just from our first two. But yeah,
do you think that
this
about
one
that
is
big
big.
old gap down below it?
You're looking for that gap fill in a longer term picture. Yeah,
Yeah.
someone down to the 49.49, coming to the $50 zone, something like that makes sense. Yeah, we also got that monstrosity of a gap above us as well. So I think that's what the short term players are looking for. Again, this is one, two. It's obviously beaten up from the highs, which came off the earnings. The forecast, the guidance was not great on Shopify, so probably a well-deserved gap, to be brutally honest. But you do have, we've at least built in a little support at this point after the that big drop down. You got a little sideways chop, and then we've had now, is that 8 days in a row? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days in a row. The good news for me is we are gapping above that opening price from that gap down. So that's an important level. That many days in a row, we're still technically inside day candle. Again, I would probably be looking for a fade, but um, yeah, I think we're a little bit in no man's land with that big gap above us and major gap at 49.49 for me. But how would you play this one at open? Would this be a stock you would day trade?
For me,
Yeah. Would this be a Johnny
you
Johnny
you
day trade?
know, I have this thing about gaps, and like right where this gap is, I think that's going to provide some pretty good little bit of resistance. And then you got the daily 50 coming down right behind that.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I could see where we take out that candle from what day is that? May 8th, little
yeah.
hammer there. But I don't know, man. Like you said, with the whole market kind of flat to a little bit on the bearish side, I'm thinking we may pop, take out that hammer wick, and then pull back a little bit. I
Probably
mean, we
play the
got what,
reversal.
10 days in a row with bullish candles?
Just straight up, yeah. I
Yeah.
think today would be a good day if you own shares. Today would probably be a good day to sell some calls against Shopify. For me
Yeah.
personally, I think that would be a good day to especially sell some of those options, gain some of that premium because the premium's probably creeping back in a little bit. You do have some excited bulls who you got some excited bulls, but they're excited for the wrong reasons, I think, at this stock. So you had some excited bulls like we're going to the moon at some of these levels. Now the excited bulls are like, hey, my account's not down as much, right? So now we have the bag holders in there. That 49.49 does look like an interesting spot if we get down there, but um, these type of gaps for me, they make it really, really hard to be completely bullish on just because all of those bag holders that have been buying at much much higher levels at some point are like, man, I'm wrong on this trade and I'm getting that little blessing from the market where I can start getting out of some of these stocks.
Yeah.
So I do think the challenge now is to the higher side, but yeah, it's pretty interesting open. I again, this is I'm for a lot of times when I'm looking to trade, I'm looking for the good risk to reward trades, even though the trade itself might not seem like, man, like the stock is just absolutely tanking, and I'll still take it for the reversal. I'll take something that doesn't look or feel comfortable just because I got that good risk reward. So right here, if I go higher, yeah, there's some rewards, but there's also a lot of those moving averages. We have a lot of people profitable at this point and a lot of bag holders in this one. And then we have to the downside, if I was to short this, it would have to be kind of like what you just talked about, and I agree with that. Where give me that little run up at the open, see if we get that reversal candle, and then now I'm able to short a little bit higher. And my target on this one for me would be about $63. So that's how I'm thinking on this one. But we have a
Yeah.
couple of extra tickers that are coming in. If you guys have other tickers, let us know. We'll cover those. But before we get to that, Johnny, we've got some news. I kind of dropped a little Easter eggs throughout the week of like, hey, Thursday might be something. Do you want to tell us a little about what's happening?
Wow, you already told people a little
I just
little hints
just
here
dropped
and
the
there.
Easter eggs. Yeah, I said Thursday. So there's people with blocked off on their calendar that says something.
Something. Well, it might be a first, don't you think, Danny?
The first structure like this, yes, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to just lay it out there, or I mean, you want to give people the link? What I mean, how far you want to go into this? It's pretty exciting, man.
Jeff says late. I'll just rip it off like a band-aid. Yeah, we got so for anybody that's interested, we do have a free live group that we're running for this Thursday night, 7 to 9 p.m. all Eastern time. So if you're living in a different time zone, get out of that calculator and switch over the time zone to what makes sense for you guys. But
There's the
it's going to be
link,
myself,
DJ.
Johnny, and Stephen King. So we're going to get the opportunity to talk a little bit more about kind of out trading journeys, what type of trades we look for, and then we go pretty deep into a lot of the trading psychology and mentality of at least how we're. And I mean, we covered some of it today. Like I just went over some of the risk reward. Your style's a little different. Stephen King's is a little bit different. So
Yep.
I think it's a good way to get some unique perspective of just you don't have to be a robot in the market. You don't have to do the same thing that everybody else does. That you have your own personality, your own fears, your own greed you got to fight through to be that successful trader. And it's the journey is really about finding how you trade. So we go pretty heavy into a lot of that.
Yep. Yep. I mean, between the three of us, we have what, probably over 60 years worth of trading. We're
Yeah.
all consistently profitable. I mean, I always learned that you always want to hang out and be with the people that are doing what you want to do. So it's a great opportunity for people that want to look at different styles and listen to different philosophies. I think, DJ, you're probably a little bit more risk tolerant than myself. I think Stephen and I are kind of close together. So it's just a great way. And I think it's a first in real life trading that the three of us will be on the mic at one time, giving everybody different perspectives on how they look at trading. So I'm
Yeah.
super excited about it, man.
Super excited. And we wanted to keep it open too, so that you guys, so it's not like because one, I fall asleep during seminars, so I don't want a seminar style. It is open, you guys. We want you to ask questions. We want you to tell us about your journeys and your struggles, and this way we could at least give our perspective on that, and hopefully we could provide as much value as humanly possible during that live stream. But that will be this Thursday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
And it's
So
free.
it's
It's totally
free.
free.
It's free. We're going 100% discount today. This is what we don't have inflation, I guess, but um yeah, and then so there is the registration link. Johnny just posted that into Slack. I posted that into YouTube as well. I don't know, sometimes when I post things into YouTube, my links don't show up or whatever the case. So I don't know if Johnny, if you could I sent you the link to the YouTube chat as well. If you just post that link in there too, just so it
Okay.
comes through. Usually outside people could post, but they block DJ. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. Yeah, super excited. We can talk about that a little bit more too if you guys have questions. But let's see. We got Cindy saying GTLB. We'll take a look at that one. Was there anything else you want to say on that event
No,
before we get
I
into
mean, I think
GitLab?
it's just any opportunity that you can have that gives you other ideas and thoughts, even if it's like, well, I'm not trading like that Guarco kid or it just is a great way to get together with the community, some of the leaders of real life trading, and be able to listen to our thoughts. And one of the big things that I'm really looking forward to is we're going to be talking about developing a winning mindset. And I think everybody knows that overcoming the speed bumps in life, and then you have sometimes you go into these slumps in trading, and how do you get over that? I mean, we have such a great community that is behind us, but I'm really looking forward to talking about mindset and how everybody thinks about trading. So
100%. And
yeah, hope to see you guys there.
Cindy says Tony Robbins earlier in the day and then RLT champions later. What a day. So how do you feel that Tony Robbins is your opening act, Johnny? He's the so we got Tony Robbins warming up the crowd. That's going to be crazy. So I don't know.
I don't know. I heard he's going to be plugging in with us. I don't know that. He has a lot to learn about the RLT community and how to do business here, so we'll see.
We'll see how it goes. All right, we got GitLab GTLB. Um, is there a short float on this one at all? Let's see. I don't know too much about this one. We got Finviz, but I can tell you what I would initially think right off that chart. I just want to see for a day trade purpose though. GTLB short float 4.15, not tremendous. That looks like a beautiful swing trade. More than a day trade just because I don't know the volume. You got to watch out for the resistance from yesterday. That's the first spot I'd be cautious of 44.35. And then I have 44.51 coming in right above that, 45.16. So a little bit of Chopzilla in the zone for potential day trade, but that is a lot of selling. We've come down pretty far on this one. What I like the most is that looks like a 3-bar reversal to me. So we did open here. We have a little bit of a wick, kind of came back up. Good close yesterday. So it's got potential for some kind of a bounce here. I wouldn't get too excited, and this is why I would probably go for a 1.2 on this one. I wouldn't get too excited in terms of like I'm shooting for the moon, just because this might be some kind of even if I put this as a wave three, that's my two, and maybe my one's back here somewhere. So, um, otherwise, longer term, you got some decent support down here. I think we probably get, we at least need what, no matter what wave count we're on, I think we have to get to some kind of A, B, C. Probably comes back down, and then longer term, see if there's a double bottom. But otherwise, I think this is a playable bounce for 1.2. I even have good resistance, strong resistance somewhere right above 48. We'll call it $49, but. Um, yeah, I for the swing trade purpose, I like it a lot. For the day trade, I just have to see the volume. I've never personally traded this one, and they might have some news too.
Danny, would
So they
you
just got upgraded. Yep.
do you consider, down there at that 40, what is that? That 40 4026, that big wick over in November. I mean, if I was bullish, wouldn't you be trading down into that? I think that's a good place for the bulls that would be hanging out down there. What do you think about that?
Down to the well, yeah, the lowest level that I have that has not really been retested takes us to right where you're talking about. I got 4156. And this is
4156.
a dramatic sell-off. So I do think there's probably a little bit of a bounce here because we're probably overextended to the downside into a little bit of resistance.
Yep.
I just don't know if this is that big one that closed the gap yet. I would like at least a few more days of chop in a worst case before I'm like, okay, well, we're in the zone at least. But yeah, I would need a few more days of chop before I really start to sink into this one. I'm like, okay, now we're finally at a good place where we could bounce. I do think that after this amount of red, we probably get some kind of a bounce. But I there's a lot of bag holders, kind of the same one we just went over with Shopify, where there's a lot of people praying that this thing starts to bounce back up just so they could lose less, and they're not thinking about the gains. They're just thinking about, okay, if I can get out of this thing, I was wrong. I need to rectify my portfolio a little bit. So any of the bounce, I think some of the bulls that are stuck in this thing look for that opportunity to get out.
Yep. You know what Cindy likes, right? She loves those inside day candles. That's what she's looking at. She's
Mhm.
looking at all that excitement yesterday and previous couple of days, just indecision. She loves those inside day candles. I know
Yep.
that.
Yep. Well, you got two of them. Good. That fits the bill. And I also like what Cindy just said too. I'm buying slow in the zone. Yeah, position building on something like this, especially if you know the company well, you like the company. I like that goods build up slow, add some positions. It's not a bad spot to start accumulating some positions. All right, we got Marathon Digital Oil, aka Mara. Bitcoin, I don't know. Bitcoin has been doing nothing for a while. It is down, I think 3.4% today, something in that zone. At least last time I looked. Um, Mars going to need Bitcoin to start moving bullish, and we're actually getting a little pullback in the crypto space. So this one I would probably be a little bit leaning to the bear side. It's got that short float, which can work for you or can work against you. And I think we get a gap down like this. I think the short sitting there, like finally we get a break after this little run that we've had. So yeah, I kind of like more to the short side. You probably got to about 1802 um for targets on this one. I saw before
Check the weekly out, Danny.
we get the
You
weekly.
got the big boy right under you.
Hmm.
The weekly, I got the weekly 200 right at, what is that? 1872.
You got the simple, or you got the EMA. I got the EMA at
The simple.
16. Yeah,
I
you got
got
the
the
simple
simple
coming in.
200.
Oh, I got the EMA at 1638. So I got a little bit more room on some of mine, but even on this hammer that could come in and get retested 1847. It's probably where you're looking at. Volume,
18, yeah, 18, about 1872, I guess, is that simple 200
you got it over here. Yep,
right there. Yeah.
right close to you.
Yeah.
Yep. You have a little bit of support from some previous days here, but um, and a couple 2 weeks in a row of selling, so you might have some profit taking. I think this one could drop a little bit lower, but we'll see how it plays out. Again, Mars is gonna be one of those ones that move off of Bitcoin a lot, and Bitcoin is dropping. We
Yeah.
got Netflix. I saw it come in a few times.
Don't forget
Uh,
Donna. Donna wanted you to look at CELH also.
all right, we'll take a look at that. Yeah, that one had a rough a rough go at it yesterday, but we got Netflix. What do you think on Netflix at these pricing?
Netflix, I haven't looked at Netflix in a few days, but I think people are just hanging out. I think this is just part of the chop that's going on. People are like, okay, we're gonna wait for Nvidia to take off again, and we'll follow and trace. But yeah, I think it's great. It ran up strong there. You can see over May, and we're just kind of got some compression going up. I'm thinking it goes higher.
Yeah, I don't see anything. What is this Bad Boys for? It's Will Smith is coming back, so you got that.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, potentially actually up here, maybe well, depends on how you want to squint your eyes, but it's either inverted Head and Shoulders or Head and Shoulders up in there.
Yep.
So you do have
Yep.
to watch for that element. It looks like we are just chopping. All those moving averages still look good. So for right now, I don't see any real cause for alarm on this one. If I'm in this thing long, yeah, I'd probably move my stops up a little bit just in case, but I don't see any reason to get out. It does look like almost a nothing burger in terms of day trade today, where we'll see where, I mean, we're opening kind of at this resistance support 644.14. So it depends on when this one wants to open. And then I got resistance for me 648.06. And then yesterday's support comes in at like 641.54. So a couple levels play in, but it is a tight range. So we'll get the break. I don't know if that's going to be today. I think probably more to the chop side and then kind of go from there. We said
Love the weekly dojis, Danny. Got
the
two
weeklies.
weekly
Let me just
dojis
take a look at
inside
that one.
dojis. Just beautiful.
Yep. Yep. Good, just kind of resting. And again, once you see one of those dojis, you're kind of hanging out for a while on some of those things until the decision's actually made. But Celsius, that's a rough looking weekly. Before I switch it over to the daily, the good news is you are into a little bit of support. You did have a rough day on this one yesterday. Gave back, gave back a lot. You were consolidating for a little bit with a breakdown. You also closed under that 200. Probably some room to the downside, but like we said on the weeklies, you're at that support where well, let's see if the Bulls want to step in on this one. I have a 50-day EMA right at $65. That could give us a little bit of a bounce spot as well. Again, this is the weekly chart and this is a weekly candle, so we still have a lot more time left of this week. This is essentially yesterday, the one day. Right now, it's looking ugly. If this thing closes, I'd say under 67.32-ish, then yeah, we'll look out below. But even on the daily, that was not a great close for it. So um, I have to disconnect from YouTube, but we did throw the link into real life to that group that we're doing on Thursday. Again, it's 100% free. We would love for all you guys to join us on that one as well. But we do want you to register for that. This way you get the Zoom link. It just makes things a lot easier. We will also go live on YouTube for it, but just in case that link gets lost, YouTube has issues. There's always, I mean, I had issues today with YouTube. So just make sure you guys register. This way you'll get the Zoom link in your email and be able to join us. And there's no time delay, nothing like that. But
Yeah,
um,
I see some of our old friends in YouTube right now. So all you
yeah,
guys, we want to see you guys again. Come back and visit. Come talk to me and Danny and Steven. We're excited to see you guys.
yeah, 100%. And like always, hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube.